After school, Cora comes over to my house. Whoa, Cora stops in her tracks. Look at your lab. I smile. I guess I have collected a few specimens since the last time you were here. A few? More like a ton. It is true. Since the last time Cora was here, I haven't been able to pass up a rock or a leaf or a cricket. I hand her the white lab coat with her name on it. She puts it on, and I put mine on too. We both have to roll the sleeves up, or our hands should be missing. We sit at the table, and I look at all my specimens. What's that? Cora asks, pointing to a bone I found near the trash can last Wednesday. It's from some animal, I tell her. I think it is probably extinct. Actually, it might be a chicken bone from dinner last Tuesday, but that doesn't sound very scientific. I think about Stuart and the chicken bones he brought for our desert display. I guess he's just trying to use his imagination. Cora really likes the 3 white feathers I found in the park. What do you think these feathers came from? Let me examine it, I said. Just last night I found a magnifying glass sitting on Mom's desk. I am pretty sure I have never seen her actually use it, so I borrowed it, just in case I needed to take a closer look at a specimen. I say, when I put it under the magnifying glass. The little feather looks exactly the same, just bigger. Let me look, says Cora. She pushes her shoulders up to her ears and looks like a turtle. I think it is from a mythical bird whose magical powers comes from the white feathers that grow straight up on the top of its head. Really? I asked. That must be one amazing magnifying glass. We spent a whole hour in my lab looking at specimens and talking about what we should try to find next. I think my lab needs a plant or two. Cora says it needs a pet, besides the cricket in the jar, which I will let loose tonight. Miss Filippo says live specimens are for observation, not killing. So after we observe them, we need to return them to their habitats. We both agree that Mr. Bones would be a good addition to my lab, but neither one of us can figure out how to get a skeleton. Come to think of it, how did Miss Filippo get Mr. Bones? When Cora has to go home for supper, I head to the garage. In the scrap wood pile, I find a flat board that will work quite nicely for what I have in mind. I borrow a hammer and 3 nails from the workbench and take everything back to my playhouse. Lab. I get out the permanent marker and in big brown letters I write Lucy's lab across the board. Then I go outside and nail it right above the door. I have never nailed without Mom or Dad helping me, and it takes longer than I think it should. Finally, I stand back and admire my work. It is a little crooked, but at least no one will ever call my lab a playhouse again. I step back inside and put the mattress on the shelf. Second grade has started out pretty well. Miss Filippo is the best teacher ever, and she is an astronaut. Our classroom is filled with habitats for almost every living thing. There is a new tree for the squirrels, even though I'll be old and almost grown up before it is big enough for squirrel to climb. Until then, I will visit the squirrels in the park. Maybe by the time Thomas is in second grade, there will be a few squirrels running up around in front of the school again. And there is a science lab in room 2C. Best of all, I have my very own science lab. I look around my table, my drawers, my books, my specimens, and my magnifying glass. It is absolutely perfect. Nothing can ruin this very happy moment. I decide nothing. And then I hear a voice calling from the back door of the house. Lucy, your father is missing two of his white shirts. Do you know anything about that? Whoops.